Folks, most people don't know this. I'll explain what that is and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending October 22nd, 2025. If you want to speak directly with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. I was speaking with this gentleman. He was talking to me about his situation and what happened and how he was a bit surprised that his lawyer at some point basically said, you're going to need another lawyer. What happened was the guy I'm speaking with, he was selling his home. And as closing came up, it actually didn't happen. Closing was delayed a few times. Eventually, it was clear that the buyers weren't going to close on his home. And up until then, his real estate lawyer was dealing with all this. But when the guy I'm speaking with, the seller said, you know what, if they're not going to close, I'm going to sue them. His lawyer said, well, then you're going to need a litigation lawyer. It's a different lawyer than what he was doing. And if you got one, great. If not, I can refer one, was his lawyer's, attitude towards that. And this caught the seller, caught him a bit by surprise. In this real estate climate, I feel there are more and more cases where one party is going to be suing the other party. And a lot of people don't understand that their real estate lawyer deals with the closing, deals with the transfer of money, deals with the transfer of title, but their duties and their focus is all around the closing. The minute one party is going to sue another party, that's a whole different lawyer. Now, I'm sure there's some real estate lawyers that will do both sides. I've not worked with any like that. In my experience, those real estate lawyers will refer or ask you to seek out a litigation lawyer. And it's a totally different function than dealing with the closing. Everything is different, including the fee structure. You've got your fee set up for the closing. A litigation lawyer, it's significantly higher, costs way more money to sue somebody than to close on your purchase or sale. So it's quite normal that a real estate lawyer, the minute you say, I want to sue the other party, asks you to find a different lawyer, a litigation lawyer. It is quite normal. And I know most people I've spoken with don't know that that's the case. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. And if you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. Now, let's get into the numbers. Okay, folks, let's talk about data for Mississauga, Brampton, and Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby is one area. Mississauga is its own area. Brampton, its own area. I have here average sold price for 3 months, but we're focused on week ending October 22nd, the data for that. Brampton and the Durham region, they're pretty similar when it comes to average sold prices, but compared to Mississauga, for this week, there's about a $250,000 difference in average sold price. We're going to start off with Mississauga for week ending October 22nd. 43 detached properties were sold. 2 of those sold at $2 million or more. Now, sales-wise, 43, it's kind of normal. It's actually a little bit higher than what we were seeing over the course of the summer. But 43, not a big change to some of the weeks we've seen over September and October. Average sold price is $1,283,000. That's lower than what we've been seeing most of the year. But if we're trying to figure out which way prices are going, I mean, we could look at just the fall. Average prices, depends on how you're looking at it, may be trending up, but if we kind of go back to the beginning of the year, we were sitting in the low to mid 1.5s. Come the middle of the year, low to mid 1.4s. Now we're in the mid 1.3 over the fall market. So over time, yes, and we're not talking about years and years, over the span of the beginning of this year, that's it, 9 months, 10 months, average price has definitely changed quite a bit in Mississauga for detached properties. Compared to last year, 1283 is 10% lower. The median price of 1198 is 6% lower. 43 sold, 7%. So only 3 sold at list price or more. Active listings. Well, there's 962 available detached properties for sale in Mississauga. And based on the sales we've done, only 4.5% actually sold. So just because you go on the market doesn't mean you're guaranteed a sale. A lot of things have to happen the right way for you to get the sale that you're looking for, because only 4.5% are actually selling every week. Months of inventory sitting at 5.2 months of inventory. That's Mississauga. Let's look at Brampton. 52 detached properties sold, 1 sold at $2 million or more. So sales really hasn't changed much. And overall, when we look at the fall market, sales are averaging out higher than what we were doing over the summer months. So 52, pretty decent week when it comes to sales for Brampton. Average sold price is $1,054,000. In the fall market, we've been seeing ups and downs. It's not entirely clear which way prices are going. However, we go back a bit further. It's pretty easy to see. We were in the 1.2s. Now we're, mid 1.1, something like that. Average sold price has come down over the course of the year. Compared to last year, $1,054,000 is 10% lower. The median price of $965 is 9% lower. 52 were sold, 10 of those, so 19% sold at list price or more. Listings. So we're seeing fewer listings. There's almost 1,200 available detached properties for sale in Brampton. 4.3% of those actually sold. Months of inventory looks like it's climbing down over the last few weeks. It's now at 5.3 months of inventory. Here is Durham. Now for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. 45 detached properties sold, 1 sold at $2 million or more. Sales holding steady. Average sold price is currently at $1,010,000. Overall, very clear to see, average sold price over the course of the year has been coming down. $1,010,000 is 11% lower than the same week a year ago. The median price of $975 is 7% lower. 45 were sold, 19, so 42% sold at list price or more. Durham, especially Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby, a bit more competitive than other parts of the GTA. Listings. Okay, so we're seeing fewer listings. Active listings is also trending down. There's 634 detached properties for sale in Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. 7.1% actually sold. I'm stressing the 7.1% because it is the area of the GTA with one of the highest percentage of sales. 7.1% might not seem like a lot, but when you compare to Mississauga, 4.5, Brampton, 4.3, the city of Toronto is sitting at 5.3% 8% of all active listings actually selling. 7.1, that's a high percentage. Months of inventory, 3.3 months of inventory. Here's a quick summary. You're going to experience a balanced market, especially if you're in Mississauga and Brampton. Maybe a bit of a buyer's market. It depends on the neighborhood. There's some neighborhoods that just have much more listings than others. But a balanced market is more predominant in Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. There's a good chance you may be competing on properties. But you're going to see that also, especially in Mississauga and sometimes in Brampton. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.